For today's project, we're gonna throw it back to about 1997, maybe. I don't know. Somewhere between 10 and 20 years ago, we used to do these mosaic strip cards. We made cards mostly. I'm going to show you how to do this. We're going to update it a little bit, give it a kind of a modern twist. What you're going to need for this project is we're going to do a tag today. You can do a card or a journal page or whatever you want, but we're going to do a tag. So if you want to follow along, you will need a shipping tag. You are going to need a double-sided adhesive of some sort. Yes, you can use glue, but trust me on this, it's kind of a pain. A heavy-duty double stick tape is really much better. You're going to need some clear embossing powder, and if you have some of the ultra thick embossing enamel, or this is Amazing Glaze by Judykins, which was kind of the same concept, that will work really well. And some embossing ink, which I'm out of, but glycerin will work just fine, and really anything kind of gooey like this works to emboss on. You're going to need this is for embellishments. If you choose to embellish, which really you don't need much on this card once it's done because it just looks fabulous on its own. But I'm going to use some Inca Gold. I've got me some little fibers, you know, for my tag. And then you can put an embellishment for your focal piece if you want. And then you're just going to need some basic tools, you know, a sticky glue, scissors, that kind of thing. Okay? Oh, and paper strips. I almost forgot. Yeah, you're kind of going to need a bunch of these. And what I did was I just went through my scrap paper bin and, you know, pulled out pieces that were a decent size that I could cut into strips. And I just put them in my paper trimmer, and I cut strips that were anywhere from about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. It doesn't matter, and you don't have to measure, and they don't have to be the same. In fact, you want them to not be the same. You want some wide, some narrow, and then let's get started. You're going to need to start with your tag and your adhesive. And I'm just going to cut a piece of this about the size of my tag. It's easier to do this way. I want it to cover the whole thing. Stick it on there and then just trim off this excess. Now you want to peel off the release paper. There we go. Now we have a sticky tag. Now the fun part. You just start layering your strips. This is so incredibly easy. Okay. And I don't really even pay much attention to what I'm doing. I try not to put two that are alike next to each other. Other than that, I just go. You want to make sure they go all the way to the edge and that they're right up next to each other. Don't leave a gap because you've got sticky tape in there that'll be sticky forever. And you do want to make sure that your strips are cut straight. See, that one's kind of wonky. That's going to kind of mess up my design, so I reject you. You can, you know, go as far as you want. You can just do the whole thing just like this, or hang on. Are you ready? Hang on. You can switch directions. Yeah. We are that awesome. Look at us go. Okay. Put this here. Line it right up. Make sure it's as perpendicular as you can get it. This video is part of the Inspiration Conspiracy video hop. So this is a good time for you to meet some new channels that you might not have run into before. So the way it works, all you have to do when you finish watching this video, you just go down to my video description below the video, and you click on the first link in the rotation list. There'll be a rotation list of all the participants. You click on the first one. You go to their channel. When you get to their channel, you watch their video, And of course, you know, you subscribe, you like, you leave a comment, should you choose to do so. And from their channel, you will click on the first link in their video description. So easy, right? If you know, you just keep clicking on the first link in each new video that you go to, and that will take you all the way through the rotation. And then when you get back to the video that you started with, you're done. You've done the whole thing. Well, let me put it this way. You're done with that rotation. There is more. We have 3 groups hopping this time. So below the rotation list for each group is a link to another group. So you can hop through one group and then hop to the next group and hop through all of their videos and then hop to the third group. I'm telling you, you are just going to be hopping your socks off today. After you put your last piece on there, you've got all your little strips taped down, then you turn it over and you just cut off the excess. Now, all of these pieces that you trimmed off, the ones that are long enough, they can go back into your hopper over here. When you go to use them, you might have to cut off the little slanted end, like that, but they're still usable. Really, from here, you can call it done. I mean, to me, this is gorgeous. This is finished. I love this. But, if you want to, you know, kick it up a notch, you can use some embossing powder. Yeah, kind of a thin, even coat to start with anyway. And then I'm just going to, it's a big tub, so I'm just going to spoon it on. And there we have it. I think I definitely want to put my little round thing back on, and I just rubbed some Inca Gold on one of these. This is old silver, in case you're wondering about that. It's not going to stick really good to the slick embossing powder, so I'm going to put some of my good old trusty Tombow Mono Multi Liquid Glue on there. And then just sort of do this. If you don't have a palette knife, you can use like an old credit card. Or your finger, works just fine. Now, if you want to do, I think on this one I did a little bit of black around the edge, and that wasn't as easy as I thought. I used the wrong thing. I tried using like a Stabilo pencil, and it really didn't like the embossing powder much, and so I used some black watercolor. It didn't do very good either. I think maybe a gelato, but let's just try. Let's get the gelato out and see if that's what will work better. I don't want much around the edge. I don't want a heavy black line, just a little bit of like a shadow. Now we can put on an embellishment if we choose. I think I like this one best. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to stick that on there. There we have it. Quick, easy, uses up your scraps, fun, a lot of impact for a little effort, updated old school mosaic strip technique. Don't forget to click on the first link in the video description and enjoy the rest of the hop. Thank you so much for watching. The end.